CTV News at 5 with Marina Moore and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Safety issues in Sudbury's downtown are once again in the spotlight. The issue was front and center as the Greater Sudbury Police Service Board called a special meeting today. Details from CTV's Madison Merrier.
Sudbury's downtown has been the focal point of many concerns for residents in response to crime. And Monday's special meeting called for a motion to better address addiction intervention.
The Greater Sudbury Police Service Board requests the Ontario government to enact legislation that provides for involuntary addiction treatment, which would include assessment services, stabilization intervention, treatment and follow-up support for individuals who chronically place service demands on police, accessible and affordable housing, social services and healthcare system.
When we are called and there is an offense that has been committed, we are holding those offenders accountable and we are putting people before the courts. But again, sometimes the court system isn't what this individual needs. And just because they're unhoused and they have mental health issues and addiction issues doesn't necessarily mean they're a threat to public safety.
Cunningham says arrests and seizures can force an individual struggling with addiction to result to petty crime, but help needs to be accepted by the individual.
That's why there was a motion filed today by the board asking the province and the federal government to look at the legislation. What tools can we have to better support these individuals and ensure that they get the help that they need when they need it, not when they want it.
Health Sciences North weighed in about support for acute care, but pointed out that long-term support programs have a wait list.
We don't only look at the needs in community of Sudbury, but we also look at the needs across northeastern Ontario. And in many of our programs, we are the only service in all of northeastern Ontario.
And Board Chair Jerry Lougheed questioned Chief Cunningham regarding a myth that other communities send individuals to Sudbury for resources.
They don't get a bus ticket back to where they came from. The Crown or the courts don't tell them they have to go back where they came from, so we inherit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Because of our regional hospital that we have here, and certainly we have a regional jail as well, sometimes those individuals come here and they don't have the capacity or the ability to return home. And therefore, they stay here, and we heard evidence of that today. And now, how do we coordinate better with that that they are returned home and they are taken care of in their communities? Because that's ultimately what should be happening.
HSN reports that the Northerners-related opioid death rate is 3.3 times that of the provincial average. While Lefebvre says involuntary support can help with individuals who have been banned from services due to their actions while on substances, get the support that is necessary. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Time now for our first check on weather, and it's the start of a new work week. So what's in store? For the details, we go to CTV's Tony Rima. Tony, how are things looking?
Thanks for that, Marina. Not all that bad out there. However, there is a severe thunderstorm watch in place for North Bay, and that's going to continue until about 9 this evening. After that, skies should clear. We're looking at, unsettled conditions, risk of thunderstorms. Your first weather, by the way, is brought to you by CAA. Get your membership by going to getcaa.ca. And as we take a look at our forecast radar, pockets of activity. You'll get some rain, then we'll get some clearing, and it'll kind of bounce back and forth like that. In through Tuesday, again, it's going to be unsettled. And then on Wednesday, much the same, rain on the way. Full weather details a little later. Marina.
Thank you, Tony. And by the way, Ontario Forest Fires has reported 2 new wildland fires in the northeast region, bringing the total number of fires in the area to 44. The new fires include Sudbury 47, that's northwest of Telephone Lake, and Sudbury 48, northwest of Moose Lake. Both fires are classified as being held. Sudbury police have laid 9 charges following a recent collision on the Kingsway. Police say 2 vehicles collided midday Friday on the busy street. When police arrived on the scene, they learned one of the drivers had fled. It was later discovered the 39-year-old man had been driving a stolen vehicle. He was arrested and faces several charges, including failing to remain at the scene, theft of a vehicle, and possession of a Scheduled 1 substance. A Sudbury family is speaking out after a 14-year-old was badly beaten at a local skate park. The 14-year-old was taken to hospital with a broken nose and arm. Police say they have identified one suspect in the assault that took place July 31st. You can learn more about this story by going to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. An announcement from the federal government will support housing builds by opening up a catalog of home building designs. The city of Greater Sudbury has officially joined the project as a local partner. The catalog boasts 50 pre-approved low-rise plans, which are free for all Canadians to use. The city is reviewing designs from the catalog to fast-track approvals for affordable housing builds within the city.
The city of Sudbury has looked in and has looked at some of the homes that are single-family homes, but also duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, so what they call that gentle density, because we know that there's such a housing need here, a rental as well as home ownership, so that the variety of the homes that they're looking at is really important.
According to LaPointe, the catalog takes into account different building requirements from coast to coast and was developed by architecture and engineering teams. Most summer festivals take place on weekends, but there was one in Timmins today that brings together families, first responders, and local organizations. The Boats, Bikes, Mikes, and Lights Fair is back with a goal of building stronger community connections. CTV's Lydia Chubak was there.
Okay, ready?
The second annual Boats, Bikes, Mikes and Lights Educational Fun Fair is taking over the White Waterfront Conservation Area. The free family event is a partnership between the Voices of Porcupine Community Group, Timmins Police and the OPP. Organizer Carol Tonge says the day is about creating something positive for the community.
If you stay here today, you walk through the park, you'll see lots of smiles and people laughing all day, and that's what means something. You know, there's so much bad news all the time that you need something good every once in a while, and this is what we're trying to do with this educational fun fair.
The event also brings visitors face to face with the people who serve the community, including police and conservation officers, members of mine rescue, paramedics and firefighters. Ontario Associate Attorney General Michael Tibilow is among those taking in the action.
To build strong communities, you need to have gatherings like this that are safe, that are family oriented.
Well, I've been with my friend the entire day, and I went to the bike parade and all of that stuff.
This endeavor is also supporting the Timmins and District Humane Society.
This isn't just about fundraising, it's about bringing communities together, it's about bringing people over to share their stories and share some knowledge about how everybody can help animals in this community.
Organizers say this year's event is even bigger than last year's, with more community groups and people taking part. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, South Porcupine.
Time now for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Tony has your full weather forecast. For now, let's take a live look at conditions in Sudbury, where the sun is out now, but some thunderstorms and heavy rain passed through earlier this afternoon. More details coming up.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Now your main weather, let's start with our forecast radar. Pockets of activity, a severe thunderstorm watch still in place for North Bay. That will continue until about 9 this evening. Then after that, clearing skies overnight. Depending upon where you live, you might get a shower or two. Here are the temperatures right now. Should be 23, 24 degrees normally this time of year. And as we take a look at the map, 23 in through the Sioux, 26 Elliott Lake. And as we hit the clicker, there is the ebb and flow when it comes to the weather. They'll rise, they'll fall, but we're still in that normal zone for this time of year. Okay, let's take a look now at our 5-day weather forecast, starting with Sudbury Nickelbelt. Tomorrow, well, a mix of sun, cloud, and a chance of some shower activity. 24 degrees, spot on temperature-wise. Same temperature on Wednesday, but again, unsettled. It'll start off sunny, then the clouds will roll in, a little rain, and then back to the sunshine. So expect that trend for the next few days. Then on Friday, clearing skies, temperature drops just a little bit. Saturday looks good at this point. For Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, slightly different forecast, mainly sunny conditions in store, which is rather nice, and 23 on Wednesday is the normal daytime high for this time of year. Thursday, you might get a few showers, and Friday we start to get clearing. Saturday, 24 with a mix of sun and cloud. Beautiful there. In through Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, a little more unsettled in the northern part of our broadcast region. Sun, cloud, and a 40% chance of showers. Temperature spot on, 24 degrees. Then the temperature drops ever so slightly, but the rain is going to stick around. Some clearing on Thursday. Friday and Saturday at this point look pretty nice, and that's a good thing. For Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake tomorrow, well, sun, cloud, and a 40% chance of rain, 24 degrees when it should be 23 this time of year, so pretty close. In through Thursday, some rain, and then we get that clearing Friday and Saturday. Finally, your 5-day weather forecast for North Bay, West Nipissing, sun, cloud, and 30% chance of shower activity, and the temperature is still 24 until Thursday. Then Friday it drops just a little bit, but the skies will clear, beautiful sunshine. Saturday, look at that sunny condition there, 23 degrees. Marina, it's back over to you.
Thank you, Tony. The Ontario Liberal Party will hold the first debate of its 2026 leadership race tonight. Former leader Bonnie Crombie resigned in January and is now running for her former job as Mississauga mayor. The Liberals will select their next leader in November. There are currently 5 candidates running. They are former federal industry minister Navdeep Bains, Stephanie Bowman, and Lee Fairclough, both who are current Liberal MPPs. Finance and tech entrepreneur Eric Lombardi and longtime public servant Dylan Mirando are also seeking the party's top job. An Ottawa tattoo artist hosted a unique outdoor event over the weekend with the goal of making friends. CTV's Camille Wilson has more on his initiative focused on bringing his community together and creating connection.
I didn't think this many people would come.
Local tattoo artist Nico Winter is trying something new to bring his community together.
I posted a video on Instagram like 2 weeks ago, and I've never been to a run club. I've never been to a poetry reading thing.
Posting a video online saying he was looking for friends, stepping out of his comfort zone.
I think it'd be really cute if we do like a poetry reading thing. I've always written and played music and done poetry and stuff, but I've never expressed it outwardly anywhere. And same thing with running. Like I've always kind of done it like in secret a little bit.
Let's go. Putting together his first Slow Sunday event for anyone looking to join him for a morning run, poetry, and a picnic.
It's hard to talk. It's hard to chat with people. So when you put yourself in those positions, then you just get better at them, right? If you avoid them, you won't get better at chatting.
A big turnout Sunday with about 150 people from experienced to beginner runners.
I'm a little bit scared, but I guess I can run slow, and I hope to find people that run slow as well, and also to get tips from people that have been running for a much longer time.
Winter was worried when he realized he needed a permit from the city to host an event in a park, but the Akora Center came to the rescue.
I saw a video that said he's not getting the permit to host this event, which is when I texted and I was like, we have space, come here.
Ending the morning with local poets and storytellers sharing their work.
I'm so proud of everyone that's going to come up and that it's going to be their first time speaking.
Nice to meet you guys.
The mission behind the event, to make friends.
I thought it was a great opportunity to meet some of my neighbors. I think nowadays it's getting difficult to kind of break the ice, meet new people, meet your neighbors.
Just building community, and you know, especially with social media, like it's so toxic and consuming.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, a Fringe festival returns to North Bay, plus more young Canadians are finding work this summer. What's behind the hiring surge? The unemployment rate for young people in Canada has gone down for a third straight month. CTV's Camille Kamarli has more on what's behind the hiring surge.
In a place where everyone is always on the move, the biggest shift this summer at this Toronto trampoline park might just be how many teens are applying to work here.
We're seeing anywhere from 500 to 1,000 applicants just for one flight crew role.
Good job, good job. One of those was 17-year-old Abdul Qadir Saeed, part of a growing number of young people across Canada to land a job these past few months.
I showed my mom, I was shocked. I was like, no way I got hired here.
Youth unemployment rates continue to drop across the country. Take a look at last July's numbers for ages 15 to 24, dropping from 14.5% now down to 12.5% for this July. And for returning students, that's those who have summers off, going from 17.5% now down to just over 15%.
Youth unemployment is still very high. It's almost twice as high as the overall unemployment rate, but it's down significantly over the last few months, and it's certainly headed in the right direction.
Job experts say the initial shock from the U.S. trade war seems to be wearing off. Employers now feeling more confident in hiring youth after seeing the economy remain stable.
And what business wants more than anything is exactly that, is stability. Boring at times is good for business.
Especially in industries that employ a large share of young workers, like restaurants, retail, and summer tourism. We may now also be seeing the effects of Ottawa reducing permits for international students and temporary workers.
Those entry-level positions typically have been a bit more heavily weighted towards new Canadians.
But at this Toronto bike shop, you won't find many youth working here, a reminder that some businesses are still reeling from a shaky economy.
We've needed to shift our focus and actually support our full-time workers, allowing them to keep their positions year-round. And we've been hiring less youth.
Hoping to ride out the bumpy road ahead before opening more doors to new workers. Kamal Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, lace up your hiking boots. An annual Sudbury favorite is returning on the weekend. Organized by the Rainbow Routes Association, the 9th annual Sudbury Camino heads out on Saturday, August 15th. The event is inspired by Spain's Camino de Santiago. Hikers can take on a full 30-kilometer challenge starting at Moonlight Beach or opt for a 15-kilometer route starting downtown. With over 200 participants signed up so far, officials say this is a record-breaking turnout.
We know this is something that's really special for Sudbury, because there's nothing quite like it in all of Ontario. And not everyone has the ability to travel all the way to Spain. And if you care to spend that time in nature and really connect with either others while you're walking on the trail, or for some individuals, taking the time just to connect with yourself.
Registration includes a shuttle from the Kinsman Sports Complex, a Camino passport with detailed maps, and water stations throughout the hike. The hike runs from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you can register online. The arts take center stage in North Bay this week as a summer staple returns for its 13th year. The On the Edge Fringe Festival runs Wednesday through Sunday, taking over the Capitol Centre and various downtown locations. The 5-day festival features free workshops, 9 independent shows ranging from theatre and comedy to dance and spoken word, with 100% of ticket proceeds going directly to the artists.
The thing that people love about fringe festivals in general is that you are surprised every time. It exceeds your expectations because you don't know where your expectations are. And when it comes to non-traditional shows in non-traditional venues, you can't really plan for what hits you and what pulls you in.
And festival passes and single tickets are available through the Capitol Centre box office. When we return, your Pure Country catch-up plus some fun community close-up items. You're watching First at 5.
Hey, it's Coop from Pure Country Mornings in Sudbury. No shortage of great country music shows for you to look forward to this month. There's so much happening. I just got to rhyme off a few of them. Burwash Country Music Festival, that's coming up awfully fast, August 21st to the 23rd, just off Highway 69, a little bit south of Sudbury. You can head to that one. It's going to be great. Providence Bay Fair and Music Festival, that's on Manitoulin Island, pretty much happening the same weekend as well. The Roadhammers will be headlining that show if you are heading to the islands. You look a little bit further into the month of August, August 29th, that weekend is Massey Fair weekend. And if you've never been to the Massey Fair before, it is ginormous. Headlining Country Night this year is going to be Dean Brody. That's right, he's coming back to Sudbury for the first time in quite a few years. Crystal Shawanda is going to be performing as well. Natalie Crispo, a lot of great local performers and talent. And also that last weekend in August, Gil Grand, he has a show at the Caruso Club August 30th as a George Strait tribute. Not to mention Valley East Days, which is coming up in September as well. Andrew Hyatt, Sudbury's own, is going to be headlining Country Night, all part of Valley East Days. So no shortage of country music concerts for you to look forward to. We have all those details on our website if you want, purecountry917.ca. You can hear the details on the radio dial 91.7 or listen for free anytime on the iHeart Radio app.
Our first community close-up takes us to Sault Ste. Marie, and a few nuts clearly were not enough for this little guy. He wanted the entire bag. Matthew Clement says this chipmunk got right into his bag of sunflower seeds, and he seems to be really enjoying them. Look at those cheeks completely filled up. Stocking up for the cold months ahead, I'm sure. Thanks for sharing. This is a funny one. Very cute. Next, we're off to Temagami, where Marcel Heroux says he stopped to take in some stunning scenery on his way home from Ottawa. He says Temagami is known to attract tourists all year round for its nature and fishing. I can see why. This is exactly the place you'd want to be on a hot summer day. Thanks for the views, Marcel. And speaking of views, Linda Couture says while she was enjoying her coffee and the beautiful sunrise on Sunday morning at her camp on the Sturgeon River, her grand dog Bailey was patiently waiting to play frisbee. She says it was so funny to watch. She's also sharing a photo of the beautiful view of the river and reflection on Saturday night, which she says is so calm and peaceful. I have to agree. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. Don't forget to include your name, location, and a short description. Finally for us tonight, the Perseid meteor shower is set to reach its peak this week. The meteor shower takes place from late July to mid-August in the northern hemisphere. It will reach its peak on Wednesday and Thursday and should be visible to the naked eye across Ontario. The Perseids are debris left behind by the Swift-Tuttle comet, which has a 133-year-long orbit. The last time it passed through the inner solar system was more than 30 years ago, so don't forget to look up. There's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching CTV.